Imagine waking up one morning, and the sun never truly rises. Darkness covers the earth. Crops stop growing. Temperatures collapse. Entire civilizations begin to panic. This wasn't the end of the world, but for the people living through 536 AD, it certainly felt like it. For nearly 18 months, the sun became little more than a dim shadow behind a veil of ash. Contemporary writers describe daylight as weak and lifeless, as though the world had been trapped beneath an endless eclipse. Then came something almost impossible to imagine. Snow fell during summer. Temperatures dropped across much of the northern hemisphere. Harvest after harvest failed, and the food that millions depended on simply never arrived. As food disappeared, hunger became the new ruler of the world. Entire communities exhausted their supplies. Families faced impossible choices, and countless people never lived to see another harvest. But what could darken the entire planet for nearly 2 years? The answer lay thousands of kilometers away, inside one of the most powerful volcanic eruptions in recorded history. And humanity was about to discover just how fragile civilization really was. Scientists now believe a colossal volcanic eruption launched millions of tons of ash and sulfur high into the atmosphere. Instead of falling back to Earth, the particles spread around the globe, reflecting sunlight back into space. The result was a volcanic winter, unlike anything humanity had experienced in centuries. For centuries, no one knew what caused the darkness. The answer remained frozen beneath Greenland's ice. By drilling deep into ancient glaciers, scientists discovered microscopic volcanic ash preserved inside the ice itself, providing powerful evidence that a massive eruption had changed the world's climate. The disaster wasn't limited to one kingdom. Across Europe, Asia, and parts of the Middle East, harvests failed, trade slowed, and entire communities struggled to survive. Civilizations separated by thousands of kilometers were facing the same terrifying mystery beneath the same dark sky. Even the mighty Byzantine Empire could not escape the crisis. Food shortages spread rapidly, prices soared, and governments struggled to feed their people. No army, no emperor, and no kingdom could stop a climate disaster affecting the entire world. After nearly 2 years, the skies slowly began to clear. Survivors believed the nightmare was finally over. But history had one final tragedy waiting. Hidden aboard merchant ships was a deadly enemy that would claim millions more lives, the Justinian Plague. Just as the world began to recover, another disaster struck. Merchant ships carried more than food and supplies. Hidden among the cargo were infected rats and fleas, bringing one of history's first great pandemics, the Justinian Plague. The plague spread with terrifying speed. Within weeks, thousands were dying. Entire families disappeared. Businesses collapsed, farms were abandoned, and even Emperor Justinian himself became infected, though he ultimately survived. Years of failed harvests had already weakened countless communities. The plague struck populations already exhausted by hunger, turning a climate disaster into a humanitarian catastrophe that reshaped the course of history. Entire regions lost a significant portion of their population. Kingdoms grew weaker, economies slowed, and once busy towns became ghost settlements. Yet even after years of darkness, famine, and disease, humanity refused to disappear. The darkest years eventually came to an end. Crops returned, trade slowly recovered. New generations rebuilt what had been lost, but the scars of those terrible years would remain for centuries, reminding humanity how quickly the world can change. Even after the skies cleared, the damage had already been done. Entire communities had vanished. Farms were abandoned, trade collapsed, and kingdoms spent decades recovering from a disaster that had reshaped the known world. For centuries, no one knew why the world suddenly turned dark. The answer remained frozen beneath Greenland's ice. Modern scientists discovered microscopic volcanic ash preserved inside ancient glaciers, finally proving that massive volcanic eruptions had triggered one of history's greatest climate disasters. The eruption didn't destroy civilization overnight. It changed the climate just enough to trigger years of crop failures, famine, economic collapse, and political instability. Sometimes the deadliest disasters aren't the fastest. They're the ones that unfold slowly, one harvest at a time. Generation by generation, humanity recovered. New harvests filled empty fields, trade returned, cities grew once again, and life continued. The people who survived passed their strength to the generations that followed, proving that even history's darkest chapters eventually come to an end. Many historians call 536 AD the worst year to be alive, not because of a single battle or one deadly disease, but because it unleashed years of darkness, famine, climate change, and plague that affected millions across the world. Yet humanity endured. We adapted, rebuilt, and survived. It's a powerful reminder that even when the future seems darkest, resilience can outlast catastrophe. History's darkest year didn't end humanity. It revealed its greatest strength.